A lot of people think that Islamic festivals have the most participants, but that's far from the truth, because there is a religious festival that has more than 100 million participants. This is the story of the biggest festival in history, Kumbh Mela. Kumbh Mela is a very important festival in the Hindu religion. When the year comes, Hindus all around the world, especially India itself, get themselves to one of the 4 rivers that's chosen for that year. And the plan is to get in the river and wash their sins away. Once every 3 years, one of the 4 rivers is the chosen one. So they have to all go there. And it pretty much cycles every 3 years. So when you think about it, once every 12 years, you get to the same river. There are 4 rivers that have been chosen from the ancient times. The first one, the Ganga River. The second river, Triveni Sangam. And you have to know, in the Mughal Empire, they called this river Allahabad, which was an Islamic name, and Hindus were upset that a sacred river has an Islamic name, which is why the Hindus never called it that. The third river, Godavari River. And the fourth river, Shipra. And just like we said, once every 12 years, one of these rivers has gotten a turn. Another interesting thing is that there's a special ceremony that happens every 144 years, and it only falls on the Triveni Sangam River, the same one that used to be called Allahabad. The ceremony that happens every 144 years, it's called the Maha Kumbh Mela, and the previous one that happened after 144 years was in 2013. So the next one is going to happen 144 years after 2013, or 2157. Basically, no one right now is going to be alive at that time. Right now, while we're making this video, the 2025 year Kumbh Mela is happening, and it's 12 years after the 2013 one, so it's happening in the same river we were talking about. So where's the story of Kumbh Mela every 12 years, every 3 years, every 144 years come from? Nobody really knows where it came from, but about 2,500 years ago in ancient India, Hindu people started having this festival. Hindus believe not only do the water of these rivers get rid of their sins, and it also makes their souls pure. And some of them believe that it could even make them immortal. In simple terms, the story starts between the war of the demons and gods. And these demons and gods are fighting over a pot inside the ocean. The pot basically has things that could make you immortal. And while this battle is going on, 4 drops of this pot falls into these 4 cities. The 4 cities that have the 4 rivers we mentioned previously running through them. Which is why, since ancient times, Hindus have known this festival as very special, and these 4 rivers and cities were chosen. The one that holds the record of the most people is the one that happens in Prayagraj. When 3 years passes and it's the turn of the certain city that has to host this festival, everything changes in that city. Because damn near 100 million people are going to show up in your state, and you have to be ready for it. So they have to have things ready where people come, wash themselves, and wash their sins away in the river, and pretty much leave as quickly as possible so the next people can come in. They have to have tents set up because the hotels are not going to cover everybody. Another challenge they have to cross is the food that has to be available for all these people. And that's no joke. They have to have all types of food stations throughout the area so people don't stay hungry and they don't have to travel far for some food. And of course, there has to be plenty of drinking water too. Another thing that's important is the bathrooms that are set up and the garbage collectors. because that many people produce a lot of garbage. Another thing the government has to do is rent a lot of empty stores and turn them into small urgent care facilities. Not hospitals, but urgent cares where there's some nurses, because there's going to be millions of people showing up, and there's a lot of people that are going to get sick or injured and they need the help, and they can't take them all to the hospital. We're not saying everybody's gonna get sick, but there is 100 million people in your festival. There's bound to have thousands, maybe 10,000s of people that are going to get injured or sick. So these urgent care facilities are more important than you think. Another thing that makes this festival unique is that it lasts 45 days. But it's not like 120 people stay here for 45 days. They have it this long so people can come and go. It's not like they have to stay the entire time. They also wash themselves in the water. And experts say when this many people enter the water completely changes. In simple terms, it kills all the oxygen in the water, making it contaminated, and kills all the fish in that area. When you kill the oxygen in water in a certain area, every living being in that water dies. Which is why recently India has prohibited washing yourself in the water like before, because it really pollutes the rivers. Right now that we're uploading this video, we're still in the middle of Kumbh Mela and there is a few weeks left. And it is good to know that only a few days ago, a stampede happened and tens of people were killed. The number reported is 30, but it has been reported that 30 is not even close. That's just the reported number. There has been over 100 people that were crushed, and this is just one of the crushing that happens, because another stampede happened next to the water. People went, washed their sins, and they got onto the beach to basically rest. But all of a sudden, a huge population came in that area and fell onto the people laying down, killing tens of other people. So more than 100 people have been crushed so far in this festival. Stampedes like this happen in other religious festivals as well, like the Hajj in Mecca, because there's an insane amount of people passing through a narrow area, and if it's not organized and someone falls, that's when the crushing happens. Crushing is no joke when people keep pushing from the back because they don't know what has happened in the front, and the power of the people in the back basically keep on crushing people until it finally stops. So the Kumbh Mela, without a doubt, is the largest peaceful gathering or religious festival, and the second place doesn't even come close to it.